And you know what, Dre, not to interrupt
Yeah.
you, but I just want to bring up this point. A lot of people mention the fact that, Florida needs a fifth park, right? They need a fifth park, a fifth park, a fifth park. And I
Yeah.
and I keep making the argument, and maybe I'm completely off base here. And I don't have an MBA, just for the record. I don't have
Okay. Yeah.
economic experience, but from what I can see, just as from a layman's perspective, right?
Yeah.
Disney World is already a week-long endeavor. You have 4 parks,
Yes.
water parks, you got multiple resorts. The average family is already spending a week
Yeah.
in Walt Disney World, right?
Likely. Yes.
Likely, rough give or take.
Yeah.
How much more time realistically can the average family take off of work, right? That's a big deal. And spend, expendable income. Can they actually give to expand that into more time spent at Disney World? I think it's far less than Disneyland. I think it's easier growth-wise to add a third park to Disneyland.
Yes.
I think you'd get more out of that
Absolutely.
than you would adding a fifth gate, because you can always add Disneyland Resort right now is only like a 2-day stay, really. It's a park a day. You can add a third day, and families can afford it. It's reasonable. You can get an extra day off of work. It's not beyond the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
A lot easier than getting 8 days off to do 5 parks, 2 water parks, multiple. It just seems like there's more growth potential at Disneyland. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong at all. They wanted it. There is a room in Imagineering right now, all where it's just dedicated to the third gate at Disneyland. That's all it exists for, is just potential ideas for a third gate. They've wanted a third gate for forever out in Disneyland. I mean, that is where they're going eventually. There are barriers to entry, though. Obviously, it's like, okay, well, we have to convert. It's probably going to be the Toy Story lot. We have to convert that. We have to make up for that parking. There are barriers to entry. I think Bob Iger felt it's like, okay, let's get Disney California Adventure shaped up first.
Right.
Let's finish investment in Disneyland, because there's still potential there, as crazy as it might seem. Everything north of the submarine voyage is like, okay, that's like prime real estate to do something there. Yeah. So that's the big parcel of land that they're like, ooh, like, what can we do here? Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway's going in. I would agree with you that there is more to go. This phenomenon, by the way, this was encountered with the opening of Disney's Animal Kingdom, where they thought, okay, we're going to get one more day out of people. Didn't happen. What people end up doing was they took a day, or they just took out visitation completely of another park. Yeah. So instead of going 2 days Magic Kingdom, 2 days Epcot, 1 day Disney Hollywood Studios, just for an example. They just took 1 day off of the Magic Kingdom or Epcot, or didn't go to Disney Hollywood Studios, but they still stayed the same amount. Right. So it's definitely like you're getting to that barrier where just because you have a new theme park doesn't mean people get more vacation time to visit those things. Yeah. And that's why I think with Walt Disney World, it's very much, let's build up the theme parks that we have now. Right. Like, let's keep adding attractions to Disney's Animal Kingdom, Disney's Hollywood Studios. Let's fill out Epcot and Magic Kingdom. Like, let's keep investing in the theme parks we already have, because in terms of the investment, the return on investment, it's just, for how much you have to do to get another theme park up, it just doesn't make sense in even the short term.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think, because now we live in a whole new world, whole new world. I'm on brand today.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now that we live in a whole new world, do you see the possibility of Disney? Because right now Disney is very focused on Walt Disney World being a multiple day experience. Do you see a day now where possibly Disney changes that focus and tries to turn Walt Disney World into more of a Disneyland style park, where they focus and really try to push that annual pass holder local base to drive that as sort of a barrier, like a cushion, so to speak, to prevent things like this going on? Because, like, really, whenever anything happens, whether it's 9/11, COVID, anything, and the tourism market, gets hurt,
Yeah.
Florida takes a bigger beating. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, do you think Disney is going to take measures to sort of create more of a local fan base for Florida like they have with Disneyland to kind of
What
cushion that a little bit going forward?
what we're seeing is a dramatic increase in Florida residents. Um, uh, it's quite interesting. What we're seeing with the lockdowns in some areas is it's forcing people to go to unlockdown areas, and so Florida is getting a whole bunch of people. I mean, just just all kinds of property buys, all kinds of the influx of people is very noteworthy. What's happening in Florida, from New York, from places that are like hard North Carolina, Pennsylvania. And so, yes, I do believe there's going to be a refostering of the relationship between, local visitation for Walt Disney World, between Walt Disney World and locals. I think that's going to be that was the word I was looking for, a refostering of that relationship. Right? You're going to be looking at, okay, the annual pass is going to be, maybe doesn't reduce its price, but it's going to be far more. The value will increase substantially, and there will be kind of a like, oh, hey, ooh, this is really something I should get in on because there is so much value to it, right? And I think there will be a slowdown in the short term of just year-on-year increases when it comes to price, to try to help that local visitation, that local consumer rate. What's interesting, you talk about implications. One of the things that I just recently learned about was they're having a real hard time selling DVC points to places that they've just recently opened, like for example the what is it called? It's the Riviera Resort next to Epcot. They're having a real hard time filling that out with because that was like a DVC resort. That was kind of the mindset behind it, and they're just having a hard time filling it out. And I think you're going to have a monumental shift towards, okay, let's have a cushion like you speak of, a cushion for these economic hard times, these kind of crazy cataclysmic events that happen. Like let's be safer, and I think that's why you're going to have, with a lot of these procedures that they've established for the COVID, for the post-COVID world. How much of that will be retained permanently is going to be an interesting thing to see play out. But I think for the procedures that they've established, trust me, they will have contingency plans going forward. Like a lot of this stuff, it's going to go in storage or whatever. They're going to have it. If this happens again, they'll be ready.
Interesting.